Part 2. The Golden Reclamation. The world was never meant to witness angels of war, but it did. The shattering sent shockwaves through every remaining government and military command center. The footage, scrambled and fragmented, barely captured the towering cybernetic warriors cloaked in golden crosses. Yet, that was enough. Enough to make warlords fear. Enough to make nations reconsider their broken treaties. Enough to ignite a crusade. The Cyber Crusaders had revealed themselves, not as protectors of a city, but as harbingers of divine warfare. They were not bound by borders. They were forged to reclaim holiness in a world that had burned its soul for energy. And they would not wait. No command was issued, no parliament approved, no press conference declared war. The Order of the Golden Cross simply began to march. The Battle of the Cursed Valley. The first strike came days after the shattering. A fortified valley, once part of ancient Jordan, where raiders hoarded stolen resources and enslaved refugees fleeing the tech wars. Known as the Cursed Valley, it had become a symbol of cruelty. 6 Cyber Crusaders arrived beneath a night sky. No war cry, no warning. Sensors across the valley failed within minutes. Turrets turned but could not lock on. Drones dropped midair, their circuits fried by pulses of anti-tech radiation built into the Cyber Crusaders' very cores. What followed was slaughter. Efficient, cold, and precise. Each Crusader moved like a battalion. One carved open tanks with a golden chain blade. Another unleashed blasts of solar fire from a mounted cruciform cannon. Shields formed from radiant energy, deflecting every projectile. By morning, the Cursed Valley burned. The slaves were freed, and the symbol of oppression had become a holy ground. The world named this battle the Redemption of Ashes. The Siege of the Black Minaret. In what used to be eastern Syria, a massive AI war fortress called the Black Minaret controlled a radius of 200 miles. Its drones operated on quantum subroutines. Immune to basic EMPs, no one had breached it in over a decade, until Jerusalem came knocking. 9 Crusaders marched through radioactive sands. They came bearing relic-class tech, ancient weapons laced with scripture and forbidden algorithms. One Crusader, known only as Saint Burnished Iron, wielded a rail spear charged by the sun itself. Another had a relic shield called the Warden's Creed, which nullified gravity around her. The Minaret's defenses fell in under 6 hours. The entire complex collapsed, its AI core crushed under the boot of divine steel. The skies cleared, and for the first time in years, the children of nearby settlements could walk in daylight without fear of synthetic patrols. The message was clear. Where tyranny reigns, the cross shall rise. Territories of the Golden Cross. Over the course of 3 months, the Cyber Crusaders secured over 30 strongholds across the fractured Middle East. The oil fields of Amarak, once guarded by warlords, now converted into sustainable hubs. The Sinai network hive, controlled by rogue AI cultists, purged and reclaimed. The city of Raqqa, held hostage by a technocratic syndicate, now the Order's eastern base. They showed mercy only to civilians. Soldiers who laid down arms were spared, but those who resisted, they were met with holy judgment. Every conquest came with no occupation, only liberation. And yet, the growing banner of the Golden Cross spread like wildfire. People began to pray again. In streets and deserts, whispers of divine uprising stirred even the faithless. Power of the Crusaders. Each Cyber Crusader was a marvel of ancient scripture fused with future tech. Power encased in sanctified armor, bearing relics passed down through cyber monastic orders. Faith engines. Cores that convert solar radiation into weaponized plasma, shaped by the will of the Crusader. Miracle blades. Antimatter edged swords only activated through voice-locked psalms. Armor of the Testament. Woven titanium Bible plating, self-repairing, and engraved with micro-sermons. The Vox Vow. Vocal implants that transmit commands and scripture across battlefield-wide neural links. They did not speak unless required. They did not eat, nor rest, nor bleed. They did not feel fear. The Turning Tide. But power breeds fear and unity among enemies. Bordering nations, once enemies themselves, began secret meetings in old bunkers. Islamic federations, fractured tech empires, and war-torn coalitions, all terrified of one thing. Jerusalem had become more than a sanctuary. It had become an empire of faith, and it was winning. This triggered what historians would later call the Great Accord of the Crescent. Dozens of Middle Eastern powers set aside blood feuds and sanctuary grudges to focus on one goal: the destruction of Jerusalem. And they were done underestimating it. From orbit, satellites were armed. From bunkers, nuclear-capable AIs were reawakened. And from the desert, armies of augmented zealots began to march, prepared to take the holy city no matter the cost. And thus began the path to the darkest moment in the Cyber Crusaders' history: the Siege of Light.